Hey, this is Kyle from So Good. We're here at Pantheon once again. I'm with the man, the myth, the legend, Brandon Marshall from CertainPath. So, Brandon, how's it going?
Very good. Yeah. It's been a good show, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, basically, we're out here. We're running around. We're running around. I don't know if you're running around or if you're kind of chilling out at your booth.
Well, there's some running and some standing, but enough to make your feet hurt. That's for sure.
Did you guys get padding, or did y'all just get the regular carpet? Do you know?
I think there's some padding, but
There's a little padding.
yeah, I mean, for when you're my age, man, the padding it goes away quickly. I think.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Right. The pro section of the service type people, they have the most padding.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They've got that thick,
Yeah.
thickum padding.
Yeah.
Anyway, so hey, tell everybody what is CertainPath? What does that look like? Give us a 20-second to a minute
man.
spiel of what's CertainPath and what do you guys do and how can you help people?
CertainPath is a beautiful company. First of all, I came over in 2020 under the idea that we change lives, and it's true. We have contractors that come on board with us. We're a best practices group. It's membership based, so we have about 1,200 members across the country that we serve. And the idea is to change lives. That's exactly, if you can go ask any employee what we do, we build successful home service businesses. And we do it because we want to provide a path for people to change their lives, to improve their lives and achieve the dreams. And so we have people that literally come in, like sometimes on the they're pushing all their chips in. They've been in the truck forever. They're tired. They're heavy in debt. A couple years later, they're building new homes and living out their dreams. And it's all about that path and that workbook on how to create and improve the company processes.
That is awesome. And I completely agree with you. Actually, there have been certain contractors that I've met that they've been in commercial and they're like, I want to get into residential.
Yeah.
And I always go, hey, there is one best practice company that is the best at helping you make that transition. They've got all the stuff you need to do, including getting the mindset right to do that. And that's 100% certain.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we take it seriously, and we've got we serve electricians, plumbers, roofers, HVAC people. Those are our four primaries, but it keeps us more than enough busy. And I think that the biggest thing and the difference between us and most companies, and I tell people this all the time, is the community that we create. We really try and foster that community and that network of people so that it's not just learning from one or two people. You've got 1,200 brothers and sisters across the country you can call at any time that you can lean on, and that's what makes the magic, man. So it's I'm just blessed to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I want to talk about for a second, because I told you I was going to, the first time I ever saw Brandon Marshall. So it's this moment of Brandon Marshall is going to open CertainPath Expo.
Yeah.
And this man just walks out from the side. I've never seen him before. He's got a beautiful beard. He stands up there, and the first thing he does is start to sing a song.
Yeah.
Can you know what song it is?
I do know the song.
Can you go ahead and give me a little rendition of it right now? Landslide?
No, I will not.
Come
give
on,
you a
man.
rendition.
That'd be great.
No, but that was just a way to grab people's attention.
No, 100%. But it taught me, I teach a lot of workshops, or maybe not a lot, but I teach workshops and I help people, know what to look for in their certain markets for the different technologies that we provide, and how they can do it if they can't afford us, or if they're not looking to work with us, or whatever that may be. I try to help people. Yeah. And I have used your method of grabbing attention so many times. Now, I don't always sing to people.
Right.
But just making sure that I say something or I do something out of the gate that really gets them engaged immediately.
Sure.
Because the last thing you want is someone falling asleep in the first 5 minutes.
That's true. And it's about that connection. Anytime you're addressing any audience whatsoever, connection is the most important piece. It's not about perfection. People spend so much time perfecting their message and working through it and all that. It's important because you want to deliver well. And perfection will allow you to deliver well. Connection will allow me to receive. And without that, you might have the best message that anybody's never heard.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I'll stop fawning all over you here in a second, but I will tell you, you have a lovely voice.
Thank you.
You should have sang for me.
I've been afraid of. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're very captivating. Obviously, you've done a few of the, I don't know if we call them keynotes or what you would call them at Expo, where you start it, where you end it, where you're the inspirational guy. And for a company, again, I've been to a lot of the expos as I was in the CertainPath infrastructure, working with companies in there. As a company that I say has probably one of the best raw, uplifting, inspirational messages of like, hey, we're here twice a year to make sure that not just we train you on stuff, but we actually uplift these owners. Yeah. Like honestly, you're kind of the linchpin of that. And I know that, you've got Rebecca, you've got Abigail, you've got all these people, but Brandon is the guy who comes in and honestly throws a little bit of the preacher moment on them
Sure.
from the past or whatever. And, what's that like to be able to be that guy that is really the most, I'll say, dynamic speaker that I've heard in the CertainPath group,
Thank you.
That really brings in that inspiration?
Well, I think it's first of all, it's just a blessing to be able to serve such great people. Contractors are some of the most humble, down-to-earth people, and they get it. And I think as long as you're real, they'll be real, and that's where the magic is. And so I love doing it. I will tell you that as far as Rebecca, Abigail, and the leadership of our company, they've never tried to censor me. They've never said, do this, don't do this. They have just let me run. And that freedom, that type of belief in me is what makes me want to do it well and continue to improve and get better and continue to connect.
Well, they put their trust in a great guy. And again, okay, now I'm going to switch to the not fawning all over Brandon. As much as I love Brandon, Brandon's a great guy. I want to go back to the CertainPath of it all. You mentioned 4 different affinities that you guys work with. You're one of the only best practice companies that actually works with roofers. What's that about? Like, why is that?
Love them. Well, the reason is because they serve the homeowner. And I think that there's other opportunity, and perhaps someday there may be other affinities, but that's the youngest one that we have. We have about 100 and maybe 120 right now, but it's continuously growing, and there's just a need for it. And their model fits, our path fits with theirs, and it makes a lot of sense. And so we enjoy working with them. We do.
What do you, if you were to guess, 2 to 3, 4, 5, whatever years in the future, what do you think the next affinity is going to be?
Oh goodness!
Come on, just give me a guess.
Listen, I don't.
I'm not trying to get inside baseball.
I don't trouble myself with things that are too wonderful for me. I think there's other opportunities. I think that they're probably being looked at. I know that just in this show alone, there's pest controllers, landscaping, there's garage doors, there's all these different things that we could do. We're real big on staying within what we know. And not that we couldn't learn other things, but we want to be excellent at a few things and not okay at a whole bunch.
Sure.
And I think that's been the basis and the strategy behind the growth that we've been able to see and the sustainability of a company that's been around as long as ours.
Well, if there's one that I would love to see, if I'm being honest with you, it would be garage doors. Because our friend of So Good, Tommy Mello, has done a great job of setting that standard.
Sure.
But outside of that, there's only a few others that kind of come around there that they're all nationwide, precision, stuff like that. But the local guy doesn't seem to have that in that industry. And nothing against the local guy, because that's who we help. We help local people. But it would be great for there to be someone else who's setting the standard that actually doesn't just work within their own company, but actually can help across the board. Tommy obviously speaks everywhere, but that lays stuff out for people like you guys do. What are your thoughts on it? If I were to say, I'm going to put it in garage door, would you think that'd be a decent industry for you guys?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's nothing that looking at all the things that are available, I think that we could create a model for all of them. But again, business on every level, Colin, you know this, is about you make your money by how many customers you serve and how well you serve them.
That's true.
And so we're not willing to sacrifice the how well for the how many. And I think that's been a big part of the strategy, and we still very much believe that. Okay. So we love what we do. We love who we serve, and if the opportunity ever comes up, I'm sure it'll be considered, and we'll create a model. But we're going to run at it as hard as we run at everything else.
That was quite literally the perfect answer. There's no way anyone could be upset at you for that one. So I'm not neither me nor anyone else in the leadership of CertainPath.
It's true. And this is easy and free, and we can talk. We've known each other for a while now.
Yeah,
but,
we have.
I'm not just blowing smoke. We really truly believe in who we serve. They believe in us, and that's what makes a great partnership. And there's opportunity to continue to grow within that realm. And I think as long as that opportunity is there, then we should maximize it, and we should put all our chips in on what we know.
Absolutely. So I only have a couple more things. One, you're going to Cabo next week.
Yes.
Can I talk about this in any way?
Sure. Yeah.
So I have heard over and over from different people, this is going to be a different expo.
Correct.
We're going to Cabo. Can I ask what that means? You've been to some very beautiful places in the past, because I've been there. What does it mean that this is going to be a different expo?
Well, I don't think it's as much about the location as it is about the format.
Okay.
Our large expos that you guys come to, everybody enjoys, and they're wonderful. And we do a survey at the end of those asking our membership, because we want to give them what they need, what they want, what they really want more of, not just what we think they need.
Yeah.
And so overwhelmingly the response of what they want more of is always more of each other. That community that we talked about earlier, that we foster, they want more time to network and all these things. And so this expo, we're really honing in on the opportunity for them to network with each other, creating those opportunities, and then for them to network with our partners as well. And so it's more about connection. In fact, we're not even calling it Expo, we're calling it Cabo Connect.
Oh, really?
Because that's how serious we are about fostering those relationships.
I love it. As someone who travels to a lot of these things, and even before I was doing this as part of the business infrastructure for So Good, that was one of the things that I always thought is like you get to meet all these different people. But for me, I like very action-based things. And having someone that you talk to about how they did something in their business is a lot more actionable than the existential of, hey, this is what you should be doing in a big class and workshops. Again, I help teach workshops. I've gone to workshops, love keynotes, love all those things. But at the end of the day, when you're traveling to this stuff, you're trying to find a way to make more money for your business, to change your life, change your family's life, change your staff's life, stuff like that.
Right.
I really can appreciate the fact that, it's not Expo in general. It's actually, we're going to connect you with vendors because they're giving you actionable things, and then connect you with other people who are making action steps to really change that up. So
that's for sure.
That's really admirable of you guys.
It's necessary, and the community has grown. Our family continues to get larger and bigger, and I think they need to be able to learn from some people who they were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I think that will always be more powerful than me just going, "Hey, this is what you do," and they go, "Okay, well maybe." When they see somebody who's actually done it, that's a little bit different, and there are things that they can learn in that experience that I could never teach them. And it's the equivalent of somebody like going on Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig. You can say it works all day long, but when you stand up there and show somebody those pants that don't fit anymore that used to, that's the trick.
You're right.
And so I think that's the magic of learning from your peers, for sure.
That's great. Last question, and I'm done. I'm going to let you go back to your booth and go make more money, hopefully. Do you have a favorite client?
Do I have Yes, I do.
Can you tell me who it is?
No.
Why?
Because there's so many. I mean, do I have favorites?
I said favorite, number one.
Do I have?
I don't count anymore because I'm not a client. So
it's hard to say. Hard to say. But there are so many. And listen, here's the deal. I came into this thing with not a lot of trade experience. I didn't know how I'd be received. I didn't know how my message would be received. I mean, you saw it. I threw it out there to see what would happen. It's not your typical Expo type of message. And I have been so well loved, and really they have made me feel at home. So I couldn't say that there's one favorite. There are so many people who have wrapped their arms around me and made me feel like taking the risk that I did to come here has really paid off. And so I love them all.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brandon, for spending time with me here.
Of course.
Thank you, Bob, for letting Brandon spend time. Yeah. He was working the booth, and normally Bob's the podcast guy. Brandon,
you ever want to be impressed, call Bob next time.
I've watched his pod. He's phenomenal. And, I knew that my connection to you and things like that would really work on camera.
For sure.
I just appreciate the time.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you having me.